All right, ready to rock and roll at a OP14 pre-release today. It's the only one that I'm doing, so I gotta lock in and I gotta try to get the girl promo winner because this is the only shot that I have. I'm gonna be going to People's Card Shop for this. It's one of our local stores in Vegas. I love going here. I've been here the last couple years. Love the guy who owns this place, B-Man. And today also at the pre-release is going to be pack per win. So not only am I trying to get the girl winner promo, but I'm trying to get as many packs as possible, both with joining the pre-release and with each win that I do, because I want the hits. So let's get out of our car, let's get in the shop, and let's see what's going on. Woo. Shoujo girl. I gotta get my monkey. Tony?
Can I get the Tony?
Tony the Tiger? Is it Tony the Tiger
No,
or?
I'm calling him Tony. Can I get that Tony?
It ain't gonna take me 30 minutes to do this. Killer. This could be really nice. Reutilize it on every turn. Here we go. Oh!
You're so lucky.
Wait. Can I get it on camera?
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to see something cool.
Leader.
Hey,
What is it?
Trafalgar Law.
Oh, that's a good one.
Love that.
It's supposed to be.
Arlong, Fishman Searcher. Ooh. This is beautiful.
Ooh, I got the SEC crop. Ooh, that is really nice.
I can't wait to riffle shuffle.
I know who that is.
I'm good for it, I'm sure.
Okay, Gecko. Just this kid. This blocker is probably nice. Chaka and Pell. Love that. 2K. Coffin Bow. Jimbei. King. This card's cracked.
I love that alt art so much. I pulled it out of one of my boxes. Oh, I just fell in love with it.
Senior Pink. Ooh, this will actually be pretty good. Mr. 3.
Mr. 9, wait a minute.
Maybe I want this card. Corona, pretty good. Ooh, nice. Little Vivi SR. I love this card. So pretty. Cheat out my Chaka and Pell. This is good. 2K.
No.
Sugar. Ooh, nice little Dofi. Little Dofi. Couple really good SRs in here. Time to deck build. First card, this one. The holidays have officially hit at Nen Garden, and they're following up their Black Friday with a huge sale continuing. If you go ahead right now and buy any 2 playmats on their website, you can get your order $10 off from the listed price, which is basically a steal when we're talking about playmats, right? So not only do you get these incredible deals, but my affiliate code actually stacks on top of it to save you even more money this holiday season. Spread the holiday cheer by using code Atrocious at checkout for 10% off your order on these already great deals. The link to Nen Garden's website will be in the description below, and thank you so much for supporting one of our great friends here in the community. Happy holidays to you, and let's get back into the video. Now, after my first round bye, going into my first actual match, I'm rocking my favorite Rainbow Luffy leader illustrated by Akira Agawa, and also rocking my lucky Sabrina Carpenter sleeves. The starting hand, though, a little bit unlucky. It's an instant mulligan, and getting off of that mulligan, it's fine. There's not a lot of counter, but especially with some of these bodies like Sukiyaki and Ran, I'm going to be able to swing 6 on curve, especially with those effects of giving Rested Dawn to a leader character. Playing against my friend Casey, he passes on his 2 Dawn turn to my 3. Now, I'm just trying to swing 5 with lead to start this game, not utilizing Sukiyaki, just simply because I want him to give me a card out of hand. I'm not necessarily trying to get a life on here. The name of the game in pre-releases, if you do not know, is Starving, so that's my goal, but he ends up taking the first life and he triggers Gorgon Sisters, of course. What the Alright, I'll just play Sukiyaki and pass. Casey goes into his 4 Dawn turn playing Kinemon, which is a great card to be able to restand several Dawn and now apply some early pressure in these 6-7k swings. I go ahead, counter the first one, take the second swing, simply because my hand has only a few counter. I don't necessarily want to go down to 3 at this point. Now going on to my 5 Dawn turn, top decking Arlong is nice because now I can go ahead and search. It feels like a good turn to go Arlong Ran, especially since I don't have any counter off the Arlong search. I'm just going to take this 2k treble and prep a 7k swing using Sukiyaki and Ran's effects. Since he triggered the Gorgon Sisters and swung with it earlier in the turn, I bet he's actually going to use a 2k 1k to keep this Gorgon Sisters alive, but especially because he took that first swing, that 5k at lead, but he ends up letting the KO happen. Especially because, as I've mentioned previously, my hand has literally no counter. I've got to get rid of this board and minimize the amount of swings coming at me per turn. On a 6 Dawn turn, I counter out of the first swing, fully expecting to take a life off the other swing, but he plays Marguerite. And get this, the Marguerite actually whiffs. No Kuja Pirates or Amazon Lilies in that top 5. And this is actually a huge deal within this game, because if you did not know, Marguerite is a great body to be able to be a 5k that searches, but it has a secondary effect off of that search that says that you have to trash a card from your hand afterwards. That trashing effect is mandatory no matter what, so whether you hit or whiff, you've got to discard a card, and this searcher whiffing puts him down 2 cards from the hand instead of the usual 1. Hands off his turn with Buffaloes, just a nice chum blocker, right? Now going into my 7 Dawn turn, I'm actually thinking about trying to utilize these bullet strings that are clogging up my hand, but looking at the rest of my hand, there's a big issue if I try to use Bullet String, right? Bullet String is a Dawn -1 effect. If I use that Dawn -1 on the defensive side, I go from 6 Dawn to 8 Dawn within my next turn, and I still can't play Boa Hancock or Don Quixote do Flamingo. Part of me also just wants to play this Kamazo as a little blocker, just get some big swings with Arlong and Ran, especially because I can reuse 2 Dawn and make Kamazo's cost a lot less. It kind of hurts on a 7 Dawn turn not playing like a 5 cost impactful body that's going to pack a lot of damage. But when I swing 5 with Arlong at the Kinemon, he actually lets that KO happen, and because of the on KO effect rests 1 of my Dawn, which honestly is totally fine. That's a fair exchange in my opinion. Now just swinging 6,000 power with Ran and 7 with Leader in my remaining Dawn, I get him down to 2 life at this point, which actually feels pretty solid when I'm getting ready to play Boa Hancock. And now I'm sitting here at this point saying, God, I want to take out these bullet strings from my deck. Like I mentioned before, Starving is the name of the game, and board control is a heavy presence within pre-releases, so I'm actually super curious on how much I try to keep alive these bodies like Arlong and Ran. Ran specifically way more important to keep, right? Arlong only a 3k body. I gotta commit 2 Dawn to even swing with him. He ends up swinging his Marguerite 5,000 power at my Ran, and I go ahead and 2k counter. The Leader also going with the 5k swing, which I thought was very nice, right? Especially on his 8 Dawn turn, just trying to get a couple cards out of my hand. So I feel like I can just go ahead and block with Sukiyaki. Now, a few of you may be curious as to why I blocked with Sukiyaki over Kamazo, and I simply did it because Kamazo could be a valuable attacker in the final couple turns, being a 4k body. Casey then goes ahead and plays 8 costs Nugate, which is actually going to be a pretty annoying body for me. It's a really tall blocker, and I'm very thankful he didn't get lucky and reveal a Whitebeard Pirate off the top of the deck to draw some cards. Now that I know going into this next turn on my 9 Dawn turn that I'm at least going to put him down to 1 life, and I go up to 4, Boa Hancock is going to be such a nice play right now. After playing down that Boa and now using the Ran effect for a potential 5-6 swing with Ran and my leader, I start going for this Marguerite. I've seen him let characters go earlier in the game just by matching power with not much resistance. I actually heavily screwed up in this moment though, because I should have swung 5k with leader first. That way, because if he counters out of it, I just swing Ran and he free blocks and there's no point in swinging Ran. He swings 5 with Marguerite at Ran, and honestly I just kind of let it go, saving for the counter of swings at my face. Simply because I know they're eventually going to come. I don't have a lot of counter in hand, especially with this 7k at life. Events are great when you have Dawn as active, which I have not had all game. Now he's starting to get a little bit more aggro with Newgate, so I take that swing as well. And his 8 actually is Gecko Moria, which is another big body. This is honestly a pretty big deal because if I play Doflamingo now with him getting another body off the field with the Gecko, I may not have enough counter to survive all the swings. I do have this idea on my 10 Dawn turn to start out with Chaka and Pell and leave 2 Dawn up, but I would have to opt to not swing with my leader because of that on-play requirement Chaka and Pell have in exchange for drawing some cards, which could be valuable when you don't have counter. But I think the Dofi play is just too good not to use, especially if I opt to KO the Newgate. Even though the Newgate is rested, I can make sure that this blocker gets off the field, and it forces him in this situation of like, okay, he's got to play another blocker to be able to stop this onslaught when he's sitting at 1 life. Like, I got a Boa that swings for this turn, I got a leader that swings for this turn. That's a couple cards. I decide that if I swing at this Marguerite, my odds of survival are probably much higher if I can get this off the field, as well as that Newgate that I got rid of earlier. He counters out of the leader swing, but then Boa gets the KO on the swing. Still got this Buffalo on the field, but instead of blocking, now it's a case for lethal. Now going into Casey's 10 Dawn turn, I want to live, or whatever that card is called. Especially because this Buffalo is his key to be able to hitting lethal, and I have a 6 card hand. It might actually be difficult for him to come in if he doesn't have a rush character like Jinbei. At this point, I've got a couple 1Ks in hand, but I take the first swing that he provides, even though I can counter out of it, just to make him try and go for lethal. I'm trying to bait him to go into it, especially because Buffalo is a 1K character. It's going to take a lot of Dawn for him to be able to make an impactful swing, and I'm feeling very confident that with the number that he chooses, I can maybe get out of it. He ends up swinging 8k with leader, and I can only match it, so it's either go to 0 or block. Since he committed 3 to leader and only has 7 Dawn left, I can beat out Buffalo if he tries to go all in if I have a 1k in the life at least. And it's a little bit of the gamble, but I'm pretty confident that I've got counter in life because I feel like I've seen every brick in my deck at this point. Between my big SRs that I've got on the field, between the bullet strings, I'm feeling safe. I decide to go ahead and take it, and wouldn't you know, it's a 2k. There is an argument of blocking on that Kamazo, on that 8,000 power swing, but I decide not to because if he wanted to rest my blocker to try to go for lethal, I feel like he would have done it at the start of the turn so I wouldn't get value off of it guaranteed. He ends up going with that 8,000 power at lead with Buffalo. I counter with that swing in the Moria. I block with Kamazo, and the only thing that stands between me and winning are the cards in his hand with no Dawn up 1 life, no blockers. My couple swings of the 10,000 power boss monsters on the field and also a potential 15,000 power leader swing is all I need for the lethal, and we're 1 win away from our Shoujo Girl winner. In this event specifically, I talked about how it was going to be pack per win, so there's 2 packs for us right there, but also top 8 is going to get a winner card. And with top 8 in this tournament, there's actually going to be a few people at 2-1 record that are going to bubble inside and make it within the top 8. What's scary for me though is because I earned a bye round 1, I actually have a really low shot if I lose the next round to be able to try to get this top 8. So I have to win. I have to go undefeated to secure my prize. But first, I'm going to take out these silly counter events in my deck because we're allowed to switch cards that we got between rounds. And now it's time for the finals. Or I guess the final round. It's not necessarily the finals because there's going to be like 5 undefeateds. I go up against my friend Dre for the win it all round, and I freaking lose die roll again. I mean, come on, Eggman, I'm using your dice. What's the deal with these? They're fantastic. I love using them. I recommend them to anybody, but I never win die roll. Dre opts for me to go second, so I'll be able to swing second and draw an extra card. There's pros and cons to whether going first or second. I don't know which one you should use. My starting hand is actually super interesting. I don't really have plays for the first 2 turns, but I really think these Neptunians that I've got, the Bird Neptunian and the Scale Neptunian, are going to be super valuable, so I might as well keep it. Getting Kamazo off my draw for turn on my first turn actually feels really good because now I have a guaranteed 4-Don play that has body potential, even if I pass on 2. Dre had played Kikunojo on the 1-Don turn, so I actually almost expect a 5-5 on this 3, especially when his leader starts out with a 5k swing. I go ahead and take that first life, but then he goes ahead and plays a 3-cost 5,000 power Scratchman Apu Vanilla. This might be a little bit trickier of a body because it's a completely free swing, so I'm gonna have to try to deal with that here in the future. And we move on to my 4-Don turn. Actually, through my top deck, I get a Mr. 4 Babe, so I'm actually going to play this on curve instead. So first, I'm going to go ahead with my leader swing. It ends up connecting, taking a life, and then I play Babe down. And I think Babe is actually really valuable within this pre-release format because there's 2 routes that you can go when he gets KO'd. If I grab him, I consistently have a 4-cost blocker that I can play on the field every single turn, regardless if I have other bodies that I can play or not. Now that he's going on to his 5-Don turn, he's going to swing some pokes, and I think I plan on taking one, countering one for this. So I go ahead 1k out of the 5,000 power swing and then take my life on the 6k swing and actually trigger Salome. Salome is a really nice trigger, right? Because it's another blocker on the field. It's a chum blocker, and because I've got this free chum blocker on the field, I can actually be pretty aggressive with my Mr. 4 as an attacking body since he's 5,000 power. He goes ahead and plays Usopp on his turn and passes back off to me, going into my 6th-Don turn, and it's time to start playing the Neptunians. I'm actually going to attach 1-Don and swing 6,000 power with Mr. 4 at the Apu and Bird Neptunian to play it down on the field, use that activate main and restand a Don and get a second 6k swing in. Bird Neptunian's also going to be really nice since I have Scaled Neptunian in hand as well, because if somehow I can draw into a 3rd Neptunian, that when attacking on Bird Neptunian is actually going to be so sick. He starts off on his turn going aggro with Kikunojo, committing 3 Don for a 5k swing and only having 4-Don left on the turn. I'm going to go ahead and give a 1k at the small little poke, especially because swinging at Mr. 4, I feel like I need to keep him on the field a little bit longer. Actually block with the Salome on the next swing because I kind of want him to commit a ton of Don onto Usopp to try to get Mr. 4. He doesn't take the bait though on the aggression and just swings 5k, which I counter through. And then he goes ahead and plays Bluegrass. Although Bluegrass doesn't get the on-play effect to bottom deck a 1 cost on the field, like maybe my Arlong that I had in the previous game, that when attacking draw 1, trash 1 is actually going to be huge value in the long con of this game to be able to filter that hand, potentially find counter if he stays alive. I'm going to have to deal with this. Going into my 8-Don turn, I end up playing Scarlet Neptunian to start the turn simply because of that on-play value of essentially draw 2, trash 2. Maybe helping me find something like an Arlong or maybe a 1 or 2 cost body that I can get some value of in the rest of this turn. Plus, there's only really one rested character on the field in the Usopp, so Scaled Neptunian only having rush on characters allows an 8,000 power swing. Honestly, if I can clear board and minimize the amount of swings that he has per turn, I can rely on my Mr. 4 loop to be able to constantly have that blocker and play a body in the game. He lets me get the KO with the Scaled Neptunian, and the rest of my swings go at life. He's not giving 2Ks for the swings, so now I'm just getting really aggressive. I actually even swing Mr. 4. I feel like I can take the risk of Mr. 4 because of all the 2Ks that I have in hand to be able to keep my Neptunians alive. He ends up countering out of the 7K bird, and I actually use bird's activate main to feint a 1-Dawn counter event like, for fun, time for a counter attack. But it honestly might have just been more valuable to swing 8 with bird to maybe put him down to 1 life instead of the 2. He actually plays Chambres on this next turn and swaps the power of my Mr. 4 and bird, focusing his attention on aggression on Mr. Bird, seeing the value. Mr. Bird, I just combined Babe and Mr. Bird together to make one character. With Bird now being a 5K, he swings lead bear and sees what I do, and with the 4 2Ks in hand, I'm going to try to keep this sucker alive. I counter out of both the 5K leader swing and the 6K bluegrass swing, leaving just 2 cards in my hand, both being 2Ks, and he actually attaches 6 of his Dawn to swing 7,000 power with Kiku. I decide I'm just going to pitch my whole hand, going down to a 0 card hand. But now because I've done that, I need to race him. My top deck is Perona, which is actually a huge top deck because now I can go aggressive straight at life and use Perona's effect to prevent Bluegrass from swinging, especially because he's a 6,000 power body that can pressure my board or life. Trying to think about how I use my Dawn, I'm also just going to leave Mr. 4 active for blocking purposes to just keep my Neptunians alive as long as possible. I start off with my 9K swing with Scaled Neptunian, revealing as little information as possible, especially with all this Dawn that I have on the field. I could still play a big body, I could still go all in with these different swings. He ends up countering out of this with counterattack and a 1K Fisher Tiger, which I think is pretty good value actually to be able to bait out this counter event already. I go another 9K swing with Bird Neptunian and he takes, and I actually screw up this part of the turn. I just swing 8,000 power with leader. He actually takes my 8K swing though and goes down to 0, but triggers on that last life surpass me Roronoa Zoro. Using this to rest my Mr. 4 tells me that I actually probably had lethal if I use my last 4 Dawn to just swing 9 with Mr. 4 and be able to win the game. Because I still have this 4 Dawn to be able to work with, I'm just going to play Perona. I'm still sitting at 3 life. He's only got leader and Kiku, and if he wants to swing for Kiku, he's got to commit at least 3 Dawn to just match my leader. It's 4 Dawn to be able to match my Bird Neptunian. After a lot of thought in evaluating the board state, he ends up just scooping the game, mostly because the bricks in hand, even if he did play this Hannibal blocker, just 2 5Ks from like leader and Perona were going to be able to seal the deal. And so with that, I became a pre-release winner once again, the first time actually on the stream in a video. It was nice to win this one because I was only able to do one pre-release in this format for OP14 because of travel and whatnot over the holidays, but let's flip it to the couple prize cards that I got in pack per win. Let's see what we got, chat. Let's see what we got. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to do this in this camera. This is not usually how we open cards. We got Kuro, Hachan, some Jinbei shenanigans going on right now. Shark Breakfast. This is My Stomps, chat, one of the new EBO4 cards. Pretty solid. Charlotte Pudding. This is a nice card for UP Sanji. I saw some people in chat earlier talking about UP Sanji, right? This pudding makes you a 7K leader. Very, very good. Baby 5, nice for Doflamingo. I need a couple copies of that. Hurry up, make me Pirate King. We got Chu here. We got Miss Valentine as our first rare. Speaking of Mono Black Crocodile, and we got Virgo in that first pack. And that starts. So, chat, this is the second pack. Oh, another My Stomps. Okay. Another Charlotte Pudding. Chad, do we have the same pack back to back? Yeah, I put the pack down. I grabbed the other pack. We got Jinbei Leader. If you do not know, Chad, if you're opening up loose packs of OP14, you can still get alternate art leaders, characters, secret rares, you can still get hits in a leader pack in OP14. So, let's go through it. We got Jinbei, one of the new cards in EB04. Nice blocker right there. And, oh, see, I told you guys, Chad. Look at that. That is ground death. Oh, my goodness. Prize packs go crazy, Chad. Look at that. Absolutely poggers. Nice. Not scripted content, Chad. I did not know that there was an alternate art in here in the Jinbei leader pack. Oh, nice. Dang, these events are so fire. I absolutely love that they started doing these events. Like this rarity for events. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Such a beautiful card, chat. But you know what? We got one more pack. We got one more pack, chat. That's why you take the dub at the pre-release. You hit one at your pre-release, Alec? Nice. Nice. I might try to sell the ground death because I have no interest playing Emu. And I'm trying to get a new computer, chat. Trying to get a new computer. Sachi Penguin. This is the last pack, Jack. Hannibal. This is going to go in my Emporio Ivankov deck that I've got built and ready to go. We got Salome, Rindo, Bullich, another Mystoms. So we got 3 Mystoms, Chad, in 3 packs. Holy moly, another Baby 5. We got Coffin Boat. Our first rare in this pack, Eustace Captain Kidd. If this is a manga, Dragons, I'll give you a Dragons and Purple Alligator. If this is a manga, I'll gift you a channel membership in here. Eustace Captain Kidd. I love this alternate art or SP or no. Is it this that has the SP or the alternate art? Either way, I love the alternate art in this set for this card. And behind there, it's just an Absalom. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I know it's different on the channel, and let me know what you thought about it. I know that the camera angle was a little weird, but it was hard to get like a good vantage point to be able to see without like, you know, disrupting somebody else that was on the other side of me or whatever. So I just decided to do it in this style. Obviously, the more that I do these like pre-release vlogs or local vlogs or something like that, I'm going to start upgrading my equipment to be able to have better setups going forward. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the other videos that we got on the channel, especially if you want to know about the OP14 format. I did a great video the other day with Austin Yost, a pro player, getting his opinions on what you should expect at Bandai Card Fest and beyond. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.